Kenosha! I didn't know there were this many people in Kenosha. Wow, what a crowd. And by the way, we got another 1,000 people in the Overflow area.
Beautiful thing. This Bernie Sanders, he is speaking the word of empathy. That the philosophy of empathy that we talk about on this channel. Empathy is what is going to save our country. Empathy for workers, for everyone. Respect for everybody. And this guy is a giant, standing up for what's right. And people say that, he couldn't have been elected. I heard that in the Democratic Party. I supported him anyway. There were people who were so miffed about, prices and wages and so on. And we as a party chose someone else. But I can tell you that I've talked to a lot of people and who voted for Trump. It was a protest vote. And they would have voted for Bernie. But the Democratic Party did not give us Bernie. It gave us someone else. Not a bad fellow, terrific guy. But Bernie really has the impact and the charisma that we really needed. And it's just a sad thing that we did not elect this guy, because Trump would have never beaten Bernie Sanders. That's my opinion. And just listen to this great crowd.
Let me thank the University of Wisconsin Parkside for the venue. Let me thank Kinsella and Pulse LLC for the music. Laura Jane Grace for the music. Lori, Ellen, Randy, and Congressman Mark Buchan for their great remarks.
You see, right away, he's not about himself. He's thanking the people who made his speech possible. This is a guy who would stand up for workers and speak truth to power. And it's one of these things where the Democratic Party, we backed away, and they, when they wanted the word rat in our name, that was just called us the Democrat Party, and we said no, that's fine, and they started calling our earned benefits entitlements, and any taxes on the wealth of billionaires who would pass all of that wealth on, just as a king would, to the children who did even less for it than their deceased parent. Yeah, any tax there was a death tax. It's trying to make things sound bad that are actually good. They've turned, socialism into this terrible word. Social democratic socialism is only the rule of the people. That's what it is. It's the rule of the people. And He's a democratic socialist. But we can't keep backing away and having good uh, messages turned on their head by people who are distracting us from our real needs, the needs of our neighbors, of our children in this country, the needs of veterans coming home after making amazing sacrifices for the country. We just can't keep doing that. This channel is about empathy. And is it political? Can it, yes. And I'm going to tell you, when you say you don't vote because it's a lesser of evils that you're voting for, well, when you don't vote, guess who you're helping? You would have voted for the lesser, so you didn't vote. There was one vote that the lesser didn't get. And so in its essence, you voted, you helped the guy who was, or the lady who was you much more against you to be elected. This is the real world, people. Wake up. The lesser of evils is the greater of good, you know. So whatever your criticisms, you get out and vote. This is a democracy. Only a third of our people voted in the last election, and that's not right. But let's just hear the spirit of this guy.
Well, it is great to be in Wisconsin, the state that has the second best cheddar cheese in America. Just kidding, just kidding. So, why am I here tonight? Well, because it's great to see all of you. That's why I'm here. But the answer, I think, as Mark and the others have said, is pretty obvious. As most Americans know, we are living in a pivotal and dangerous moment in American history. And we are facing unprecedented challenges. The world is shifting rapidly every day, something new, shifting rapidly under our feet. And how we respond to all that is going on right now will impact not only our lives, but the lives of our kids and future generations. And in terms of the planet and climate change, it will depend. What we do now will determine whether the planet actually survives. So we are here to say loudly and clearly that in our great nation, we will not accept oligarchy. We will not accept authoritarianism. We will not accept kleptocracy.
We've fought and we won so many battles for democracy, for our republic. If it's a democratic republic, and Trump, according to one of our generals, why would they lie? Said that Donald Trump referred to our troops at D-Day as suckers and losers. Yeah, you wouldn't hear that from Bernie. Yeah, he respects people, and he's protecting um, the rights of people. And this is, let's hear a little more.
We're here to make it clear that we're going to fight back and we are going to win. You know, lately I have been thinking about something that I learned, I guess, in the 5th or 6th grade. And also in Vermont on Memorial Day, I often go to a beautiful parade done by the city of Virgins, which is up in the northern part of the state. And it's a great parade. And what they do at the end of the parade, many, many hundreds of people come to the town green, and we give speeches and stuff. And they bring kids from the high school up to speak. And every year they have a kid from the high school reciting the Gettysburg Address that Abraham Lincoln gave in 1863. And I want you all, I think you all remember what that was about. Lincoln stood there a few days after the terrible, terrible, bloody Battle of Gettysburg, where thousands and thousands of soldiers died to end the horror of slavery. So he stood on that battlefield, and he looked around him, and this is what he said. He said that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, and that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
Of the people, for the people, by the people. Friends, that's what this country is at its core. At its core, it is an empathetic nation. You know, we care about each other. We care about the world. We care that people in Ukraine have had their homes and their hospitals leveled by another would-be dictator, Putin. So, you know, like I could say, you know, empathy is powerful. It's good, but it stands up for itself too. You can't say you love kids and you see somebody beating a child to death, and you don't step in and stop it. This is it's despicable. But you know, we have hungry kids in this country, and just 2% more in taxes from the billionaires would end that. This thing with hungry children. In fact, it would do a lot more than that. It would protect veterans. It would, you know, make sure that we don't have veterans on the street. You know, so people, stand up for yourselves. Stand up for yourselves. This is a country for you, and not for a few wealthy people who have way more than anybody could possibly use in 1,000 years. And they pass it to their kids. I mean, if that's not a monarchy of sorts, I don't know what is. You know, these are royalty, right? Well, we don't worship, you know, kings, but we started off getting our liberty from a king, and our colony stood up to the most powerful country in the world at that time, and we won. And we can win again. We can win again. We can win over this tyrant. We can be a resistance, and we can make sure that the the Congress and the Senate, the House and the Senate, uh, are people who support us and care. Nobody makes a business on their own. They have workers. They have people helping. These are trading partners. You're a trading partner. They call you workers. You're a trading partner. And the only way you're going to have a voice as a trading partner is if you organize the same way businesses do. You're a trading partner. You have the right to organize and for higher pay and for a better life. And this is important. Otherwise, what are you're an extra office chair in the office, and they can just throw it away anytime, and they can throw you away, push you out the door after years of service, years of say trade, effective, effectively making a few people really wealthy. You know, it's despicable how much we're more productive than we've ever been, and all of that productivity, we're poorer than we've ever been. How does that work? You know, you're trading partners. You're not an extra office chair. You're a person with a family with needs. Uh, you've got to. You, empathy is something that requires strength. It isn't just sharing the feeling of another person, it's acting that. Um, and that's why I talk about the different forms of empathy, um, which are objective, creative, and compassionate. From which we get, from objective empathy, we get truth. From compassionate empathy, we get goodness. From creative empathy, we get artfulness. The ability to look at things from a lot of different perspectives and come up with the best solution. Because all of these perspectives are about meeting human need. And this is what Bernie Sanders stands for, is for your needs to be met and for, not a handout, but a fair and a fair trade, a fair trade. There's no free trade without fair trade. And as Robert Reich talks about it, there are rules to trade. And let's make sure that those rules are fair and that when the prices go up, so do wages. And, we can cope with that and we can do well. And we're the most wealthy country in the world and the only country that doesn't guarantee health care for all its people. I mean, really? Brazil, much poorer than we are. If you're just visiting there, you're covered. You know, I mean, it's love that really is the power that lifts lives. And it's nothing loving about being sick and greedy. It's an addiction. It's a sickness. But You shouldn't feed that sickness. They don't deserve, or that there's so much of the pie that your children can't eat. And let's go back to this great man.
Well, brothers and sisters, that is precisely why I'm here in Kenosha tonight, to do my best, along with you, to see that a government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
Now, Trump, you've been warned many times. He's a threat to democracy here in this country. He's a threat to your power. If you're in Congress, you giving away your power. This is what the Republicans are doing. They're giving away their own power to represent you to greedy people who would like to take it all. That will, not be a fair trade, so that your kids could have an opportunity to rise and to do better than you've done. That's entirely possible in this country, but not if we're giving everything to the super wealthy. More and more, they own everything. And the people say, oh, I'm against the communists because, the government owns everything. Well, what do you think you're going to have if you give everything to a few people and an oligarchy? They will own the government, and they will have all the power, and they will have all of the wealth. And they say they don't want to enter into your life. You're going to have freedom. Well, the freedom to choose for women, they've already taken that away. That's under threat in many states, and they want to make it all the states, and they want to take us back in time, right? What? Back to what? Back to a more oligarchy-centered country, a country that thought some people were 3/5 a person, that they could be enslaved and their mother sold at auction in front of their eyes as a child. Yeah, that's what happened. We fought and we won. At D-Day, we fought and we won. And it's time for empathy to have some fight. When it's under threat, we need to fight for it. And it's only in democracy, in a democracy, a government of, by, and for the people, that we can achieve that fair trade, uh, which will bless our families and ourselves, and guarantee a future, not only for ourselves but for the planet, which is something that Bernie addresses as well. We're the only two countries are against or not acting on putting global warming as an important feature now. That would include Haiti and the United States. Only these two are, against or not believing in wanting to do something about global warming, which will, if we don't do anything about it, there won't be a human race. There won't be a future at all for your children's children and so on. Forget it. You know, it'll be a horrific road ahead before we become extinct. All the way. It's not just, we become extinct. We'll go through horrible, uh, much worse storms, uh, and a big increase in disease. We won't be able to do the research we need to keep horrible diseases at bay. The communicable diseases. Wow. So it's not just empathy, it's fighting for empathy. That's something that we have to do. We have to fight for, why I call it the love flow. And the real freedom is the freedom to love and be loved, to meet the needs of yourselves and others, and to have your own needs met. That's it. It's a love flow. And what happened during the insurrection fomented by Trump was not a love fest. People, good, police officer died as a result of that and suffered. Let's hear a little bit more from the great man, Bernie Sanders.
And I got to tell you that this is not going to be an easy fight. And I want to tell you what we are up against. I want you to think back some 6 or so weeks ago when Trump was inaugurated for his second term. Now, if you remember that, I was there. It was my job. I had to go. I was kind of right on. I got pushed right up front, so I was a few feet away. And standing right behind Trump as he took his oath of office were the 3 wealthiest men in America. You remember that? Elon Musk, Mr. Bezos, and Mark Zuckerberg. But it's not just that the 3 wealthiest people in America are right behind them. Because right behind them, there were 13 other billionaires who Trump had nominated to head major government agencies. And I don't care whether you're a Democrat or Republican or an independent, you're conservative, progressive, whatever you are. There you had President Trump telling the whole world that administration, his administration, is a government of the billionaire class, by the billionaire class, and for the billionaire class. And that is what we are taking on people with endless wealth. My friends, for years I have been talking about how America has been moving toward an oligarchy. Well, we're no longer moving toward that oligarchy. Today we are living in that oligarchy, and we say no.
That is exactly correct. Of, by, and for the wealthy. That's an oligarchy. And it's not the right, it's not empathetic. What about, this total lack of empathy? And we can't have that. We can't have hungry children in the richest country in the world. And we can't turn our backs on children. U.S. aid programs that prevent hunger and children around the world. We're the richest country in the world, and we can afford to help, and we have to. No child anywhere should be hungry, especially in our own borders. It's ridiculous. We've got to stand up and with empathy, we've got to fight and make sure that, we do feel what others are going through the way Bernie does. We've got to feel and care. And we can direct that within ourselves as well. And that's something that this channel is all about. Communicating that empathy in politics and in our society, and also taking that empathy in a caring way, not only there, but within our own inner mind communication. That's the point of this channel. And we've heard now from, I think, one of the greatest men in my time, who, as a precinct chair, I was a delegate for him twice. And just, well, that's, we know what happened. But, for those of you who understand and the importance of love and caring, do you remember, people don't seem to be preaching this, but Jesus said, it's more blessed to give than to receive. That's at the heart of empathy, to feel for others, to feel for yourself too. And to be a part of a love flow that enriches everybody. Everybody, not just a few greedy people. And that greed, that's a sickness. These are addicts to money. And what did Jesus say about that? The love of money is the root of all evil. Because you can't get enough money to meet real human needs. I mean, it's artificial. It's just a painkiller. It's an anti-anxiety drug. And these people are sick. These billionaires are quite sick, or they would be running around with the joy in their heart and the love in their heart that means, hey, helping people and supporting a government that represents everybody. They would be all about empathy if they were well in their mind. And I don't believe in punishing. I believe in healing minds. But some of these guys, I mean, we can't allow them to take food from the mouths of our children and from the mouths of our elders and from the mouths of our veterans. And we can't turn our back on the world, because if you don't do something about the suffering in the world, that suffering will come to your shores. It's one planet, people. One planet, one home, one family of humanity. We've got to stand up for it.
And as we speak, literally right now, the oligarchs led by Mr. Musk, the wealthiest man on earth, are on the warpath against the working families of our country. Despite this is something that really I struggle with to think about. These guys are worth more money than we can almost dream of. What does it mean to be worth $10 billion, $100 billion, in Musk's case, $400 billion? They're worth unbelievable. They can take care of their families for 100 generations, all right? They have endless amounts of money. Now, all of you know that in Vermont and in Wisconsin, we have very serious addiction problems, right? We got people, horribly, we're seeing drug overdoses, people who are addicted to drugs, addicted to alcohol. Alcohol's a serious problem. We got tobacco addiction, we got food addiction, we got a lot of addiction in this country. But I will tell you, the most serious addiction that we have is that we are looking at an addiction of greed on the part of the ruling class of this country. This is, honestly, I believe this is not an economic issue. We can talk about it from an economic perspective. This is more of a psychiatric issue. These people who are already enormously wealthy cannot control themselves. Think about a heroin addict. Needs more and more and more. That's what their body is craving. And that is what these guys want. They have billions, they want more billions, and they do not care about who they step on in order to become richer. And right now, in order to make themselves even wealthier, they want to dismember the federal government and cut programs that low-income and working people desperately need. And you know why they are doing that? They want to cut these programs so that they can give the 1% $1.1 trillion in tax breaks. Now, how do...
And think for a minute what that kind of money could do for the future of your children, and how much that kind of money could benefit our country and the world. And there's no, and you're giving it to sick minds who love money more than they love people, more than they love your kids, more than they love the future of the planet or future generations. Because if you back out on helping the planet, you've told the future generations, yeah, no life for you. You won't be surviving. But I'll get all that I want during my time, and that's all I care about. And maybe my kids, but nobody else. And that's not the way that you become truly free. Trade is a love flow, or it's not effective. You know, it's not something that the punitive attitude is not the way you improve trade. And tariffs is a punitive kind of action. And that just means that the other people are going to have to retaliate. And so all the prices going up. I mean, but that doesn't matter to a sick mind who's addicted to power and money. It doesn't mean anything. They don't care. They can afford anything, no matter how much the prices go up. They can buy your local stores, all of them. In fact, they probably have a controlling interest in a lot of them. Well, to those who are blessed, it is incumbent on them to share the blessing. And as Jesus said to the rich guy in the who said, "Oh, I'm doing so well. My barn is full. Everything. I've got it all." And so, hey, guy, you know, tonight your soul will be required. You know, you're going to be dying. All right. Build up your treasures in heaven. You know, build up your treasures where nothing can, no one can steal them. And and that's an investment in your spiritual health. And that's a true blessing. And these things in the world, they're all temporary. And even if you don't believe in a life after this, um, hey, uh, there's eternity is a feeling, in a way, and in a moment of the joy of helping others, we can feel just a little bit eternal, because love is eternal, and we will become that love. So I'll stop now. You can find online the entire speech of Bernie. Just do your search, and please watch it. Um, he, Bernie Sanders has a YouTube channel. This is where I got this. And please support his efforts, and go to his channel and share his videos. I mean, yeah, if you like what I'm saying, then share this video. But please subscribe to the channel. It's very important to spread the love flow around the world. It's the real wealth, and the real blessing. And but it demands fair trade in order to function. And so I hope that you enjoyed listening to this great man. I know that I've fought for him politically twice, and for his principles all my life since I saw Reagan. That made me hardcore Democrat, because I saw, in the Republican Party, this love for wealth and power to the exclusion of what really helps people, the way FDR did with programs that made sure that our elderly didn't die hungry in the street. Many were, without Social Security. So, and that's an earned benefit. And remember, these billionaires want to take that away from you. And the Republican Party's been trying to take that away for a long time, ever since FDR. And yeah, so am I partisan? No, I think we need a two-party system. But neither party should be about creating an oligarchy or a fascist regime. This great man is once again reminding us of the true greatness of our country. And until we meet again, may the road rise rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand, or her hand, or its hand, however you see it, or if you see the universe as God. Okay, we're part of the universe, trying to understand the whole thing, and that's a mystic path in a way. Um, we're part of you. We are our brain, and we are a part of our brain trying to realize the wonder that is our brain. And that's important. It requires a little science, and it requires a deep introspection and an experience from many different perspectives. And all of those perspectives are ways of meeting human need, ways of love. So, whatever you believe or don't believe, it's time for you to stand up for yourself and for your family and for your world. And I know I would not like to die thinking I didn't even try. And you can try. You can try so easily. You can have your voice, if you agree with what I'm saying, you can have your voice amplified by subscribing. And this is a small channel, but let's reach 5 million people around the world. We can do it. Subscribe, share, comment, like. And, well, until we meet again, as I just say, blessings on your head.